Welcome to episode 3, and it's all about health. I feel like nobody talks about that awkward middle stage, not rock bottom, not the peak of discipline, but yeah, I've been in consistent stage. For me, health is always the first thing that slips all the time. Health is the first thing that slips. Not work, not showing up because I'll show up, not replying to emails, but drinking water properly, suddenly it's optional. Stretching, that's gone out of the window. Gym, I'll be like, oh, I'll go next week. I'll go the week after. And then next week turns into next month. Then it's next quarter. And now we're here where I'm on a reset, and health is part of the reset.
I used to wait until I felt ready to start again, like I needed the perfect mindset. But let's be honest, if I waited to be ready, I would never start anything. So this time, I didn't wait for motivation, I just lowered the bar. Not the standards, the pressure. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not training for anything. No event, no photo shoot, no dramatic before and after. I just don't like how I feel when I'm not moving. I feel slightly chaotic, and I already have enough personality. I don't need chaotic energy as well. I also realized something. When I treat the gym like punishment, I avoid it like the plague. I look for every excuse, every reason not to show up, not to go there, because I actually feel like I'm being punished. But when I treat it like maintenance, I respect it. And there's a difference. Punishment is emotional and maintenance is practical. And I'm trying to be more practical about myself.
I think sometimes we overcomplicate health. We think it has to be this whole new identity, a new diet, a new wardrobe, new personality. But what if it's just 3 times a week? What if it's just more walking? What if it's just going even when we don't feel like going? Revolutionary concept, I know. So that's what this is. It's not a transformation. It's not a new era. It's just me showing up again quietly, consistently, without announcing it every 5 minutes that I'm showing up. Honestly, it feels mature.
Okay, so I've just got in from the gym. And there was something I was thinking that I would elaborate on, that we don't say out loud enough. And I know we all want to aspire to be consistent. We love the idea of being that person, the disciplined one, the one that wakes up early, eats well, executes perfectly, hits every workout, and takes perfect trades and never slips. But real life isn't like that. If I'm being honest, I had a wobble last week where I hadn't gone to the gym for a period of days and I felt off. And that affected one of my trading days. And I had to catch myself because when I'm not active, like I've said before, and I'm not going to the gym or jogs or going for walks, my mind starts doing too much. I start questioning everything. Like, Rachel, are you losing your edge? And if that's not caught in time and reflected on, it can suddenly turn into one off day or one off week and turn into like complete self-doubt. I know, which is dramatic, but tell me you haven't done that before. So the thing about inconsistency is that it feels heavier than it actually is. Like, you miss a few sessions, you have a few trades that don't go your way, your routine dips, and your brain starts acting like you've completely fallen off when you probably haven't. For example, the trades I took last week that were slightly off, the entries were slightly early and the exits were slightly emotional. That's some frustration where I know I can do better. And I could feel myself getting annoyed, not at the market, but at myself. And that's when I noticed something, that when one area feels inconsistent, I used to try and overcorrect everything. Wake up earlier, train harder, be stricter. But that energy isn't discipline, that's panic. And panic never builds anything sustainable. So in this instance, instead of trying to fix everything at once, I went for a run. Went for a walk first, and then I finished it off with my jog. And not because I needed the cardio, but because I needed to clear my head. So there's something about running that forces you into your body, so you can't overthink properly when you're trying to breathe. And halfway through that run, I felt myself calm down. And I was like, okay, this is good. Not suddenly motivated or transformed, just steady again. I opened my chart, looked at gold, saw a potential entry, set my pending order, and that reminded me of something very simple. Consistency isn't about perfection, it's about returning. That's it, returning. We all fall out of rhythm. Like, we have weeks where we're not sharp. We have seasons where things feel slightly misaligned. That doesn't mean you're falling, it means you're human. And I think what matters more than being consistent is how you speak to yourself when you're not. Because beating yourself up doesn't make you disciplined. It actually just makes you tired. So for me, coping with inconsistencies looks different now. I don't shame myself into action, I reset. And reset doesn't mean an overhaul of my whole entire life. It just means small corrections. If my trades feel off, reduce the lot size. If my routine slips, I shorten the session instead of cancel it. I miss a day, I go the next one without turning it into like a personality flaw. No punishment, nothing dramatic, no comeback story, just adjustment. I used to think strength meant never slipping. And I think strength is not spiraling when you do, because growth isn't proven on your best days. It's proven on days that you could have quit and you didn't. And sometimes not quitting doesn't look like intensity. It looks like walking home from the gym after a normal session and saying, okay, we're back. You know, not hype, not nothing like aesthetic, just we're back. And honestly, after that run, I didn't suddenly become a better trader, but I became calmer and made calm decisions and made better decisions. So that trade that I got into for gold, it hit. You know, I got a great entry. It went to TP and it was great. So in life, that's what health does for me. It regulates me. It brings me back to my body. It stops my mind from running 47 open tabs at once. We all want to be consistent, but maybe the real maturity is accepting that there will be gaps, off weeks, missed sessions, trades that don't hit, energy that dips. But that's not failure, it's fluctuation. And managing fluctuation, that's part of growth. So if you're in a slightly inconsistent phase right now, don't beat yourself up. Just lower the pressure, not the standards, the pressure, and return back to yourself quietly, because consistency isn't about never falling off. It's about not abandoning yourself when you do. And that's what I'm learning. Just reset, return, nothing dramatic, just rhythm that feels enough for you, and your future self will thank you for it. So thank you for watching episode 3, and I'll catch you guys on episode 4.